Welcome to another episode of Wall Watch, where we see how women respond to hitting the wall. Now, today, I'm wondering about women's IQ versus their education, because there seems to be a great divide in this. Now, I'm saying this because I have a clip from Eboni K Williams where she's talking about her donor and that entire process. Now, as you guys are thinking about this, I want you to understand this was a woman who said a bus driver is just not good enough for her. But what about the child? Now, before we get into this clip, let me go ahead and introduce myself. My name is Bertrand. I am the coolest dude on the planet, and I'm your friend. Confidence and clarity is the goal for my channel, so let's get into it. Here we go.
He's I have an MP3. I've heard his voice. He's I have an MP3 file of him telling his own life story. Why you felt you wanted to donate. And this was important. His willingness to be contacted when my child turns 18.
What? That was the selling point? His willingness to be contacted when your daughter turns 18?
So when my daughter's 18 years old, if she would like to find out her paternal identity, as I wanted to do when I was 38, she doesn't even have to wait that long and go through all that rigmarole that I had to do. Hire a geneticist, hire a detective. Here is his last known address, and he is anticipating your contact.
Yep.
Childhood photos, adult photos, keepsake, essays from him, from the nursing staff, first impression, what he does for.
This was a hell of a salesman. Oh my gosh. Listen, this woman is a role model to other women because of the level of success that she's reached, because of the education that this woman has. Yet this man, whoever sold this woman this, listen to what they sold her. A dream. And she bought it.
For a living, his educational background, his SATs. I mean, it's just a litany. So for me, it felt like a much safer choice.
Yeah.
It felt like a more legally astute choice. It gives me much less exposure. Risk and exposure.
Risk and exposure to what? Because this woman has had a whole bunch of men. She said it her own self. She said she's had a flavor. She's been able to have men of many different flavors, right? So if she's saying she's had men of many different flavors, that lets you know that she is not a virgin, okay? So now it just made me think, damn, does she really think a bus driver or a man that's not rich is better than not having a man at all? Now, what this woman is probably going to figure out is it might be better for her to tell her daughter that the father has passed. Because if she thinks that when this child is 5 years old, that they're going to be interested in hearing a MP3, a voice note, they're going to be excited to read an essay, right? Like, this woman is thinking about things that make her look good, make it seem like she was a good picker or a good chooser, when clearly she's not, because she didn't take the route that the majority of people think that she should have taken. This is why I'm wondering about her intelligence, because I can tell by the way she speaks that she's educated and extremely educated. When I'm listening to her logic and her reasoning, it all centers around her. It does not center around the child. I'm speaking to this because I'm a single father. So I understand the single parent road. It is a hard road, and this woman is choosing it. She's choosing to pass down the trauma and the damage that she received. Now, here's the thing about men, right? Or I want to say the majority of men, but I'll just go ahead and use myself as an example. I want to see my children do better than I did. I want to see my children go further than what I made it. Because when I think about the things that I know now that I didn't know, that I had to learn on my own, I'm passing that right on to my children. My parents didn't teach me about credit, the stock market, business credit, how to start a business. I had to learn those things on my own. When it comes to my children, even if they don't know how to do it, it's already implanted in their minds. So now it's just a matter of them actually following through with it. I'm listening to this woman and I'm not hearing anything that's going to benefit the child. That's what children want their parents together. They want to see them together. They want to see how they interact, because these are their first role models. These are the people who care about these children, or these are the people who should care the most about these children. As intelligent as this woman is it seems or sounds like she would have been better off getting pregnant by somebody she knew had a fling with, right? Because I'm sure she's been getting it in. She is no virgin, so I can guarantee that there may have been someone who was at least willing. You know what? Let me not even say that. Let me ask this question. Was there really not a man who was willing to impregnate this woman? Because I don't think she's bad looking. I mean, she's definitely a lot older looking, but I wouldn't say that she's a horrible looking woman. So you mean to tell me she couldn't get no one to impregnate her? Because again, when I think about the intelligence, right? Like natural intelligence, what is making this woman think that everything she's asking for, they have an answer to, but they have the answer that she's looking for? So then it made me wonder, well, damn, a guy who has everything that she would be looking for on paper, why would this guy go and donate his sperm? Right? Now, listen, I'm not saying that men won't do that, right? I'm not saying that it's not possible for men to do that, because we do live in a day and time where technology is taking over. It's taking over to the point to where we're going to have to really start to look at this and say, is this the best decision? Right? Because then I guess maybe the stats will start to come out as far as which children are doing better. Is it the ones with fathers, or is it the ones with only a mother? Right? Like, it's going to be a whole bunch of stats that are going to start coming out. A lot of women are definitely going to take this path, especially if they've hit the wall like this woman has hit the wall. She's had plenty of opportunities with men. I keep saying that because women are sexually liberated. So she's definitely dealt with friends with benefits, situationships, flings, and vacay bays. She just couldn't lock one down or lock them in to her liking, right? And maybe that man just doesn't exist. So maybe this was the best route, but it proves that you still needed a man, because that man has something you don't have in order to make a child. Also, something that's important is men and women need each other. For instance, when it comes to a father, the reason why children get excited to see the dad is because there's usually a period of time where this child can jump on the father's back. This child can be thrown in the air by the father, right? And this may go all the way up to 10, 11, 12. Whereas if it's just a woman, this is probably going to stop between the ages of 2 and 3, if they even make it that far. Now, I'm saying that because that's why the child is excited to see the father. Is this child really going to be excited to hear, MP3 voice recordings? No, this child is going to want that male support that is going to need going into the future. Right? Like a father will pick a child up. Now, this is something that she doesn't really know, because she's let us know that she didn't grow up with her father. So she's willingly, purposely passing on trauma and damage to the next generation. And I think it's a sad thing, but I have a question for you guys. What do you think? Comment under this video. Remember, when you are watching these videos, you are becoming the best version of yourself. Now that this video is done, do me a huge favor. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.